set it and forget it, automating engagement. So we're first going to start with release conditions, and we're going to go around the little circle here and kind of go by one what they are, why we want to use them, where you can find them in D2L, how to set them up, some examples of how you can use them in your courses, combining release conditions with other things, best practices, and common mistakes. So first, what are release conditions? If you've never heard of them before, they allow instructors to control when content, assessments, or activities become available to students. So why these are so great is that it helps create personalized learning paths based on student progress. So basically what that means is D2L will adjust and tailor the learning experience for each student individually, depending on how they are doing, instead of every student having the same exact experience in the course. All right, so why should you use release conditions? I would say first and foremost, adaptive learning. And basically what that means is guiding students through content based on the performance that they're giving in your course. So let's say you have 2 modules in your course and you only want students to access module 2 if they score 80% or higher on the module 1 quiz. So you can do this very simply by setting a release condition on to module 2. The condition would be that with the quiz, module 1 quiz, they need to score at least an 80% or higher. So if that release condition were set up, if a student scores an 85%, they will see and access module 2 content right away. But if a student scores below that, say a 65%, they won't see module 2 content yet. Instead, they may be prompted to review content or retake that quiz until they meet that qualification. And we'll look at how to set this up specifically with a quiz later on in the presentation. All right, so where you can apply release conditions. You can do these pretty much all around D2L. Where they're most commonly going to be seen as content modules and topics. So this is again where you can unlock materials based on quiz completions or grades. You can also do it with assignments and quizzes. So this could require students to complete a prior task before accessing. So say they have to submit an actual assignment before they get other content, and also in discussions and surveys. So you can require them to complete a discussion, read a discussion, respond to a discussion, or other types of participation or prerequisites that need to be met. Okay, so this slide's a little bulky, but this is how to add a release condition to a quiz. If you are in a course or in your sandbox, now would be a good time to follow along. If you have a quiz in there that you can play around with, you can go ahead and go to that quiz, and then you would go to edit that quiz. Where you're going to find release conditions is going to be under availability, dates, and conditions, and it'll look just like this. From there, you would add a release condition and create a new one. You would choose a condition type from here. So when you drop that bar down, there's going to be a ton of options there, but don't let that overwhelm you. They're very self-explanatory when you go and read them individually. So there's a section on quizzes, and since we want to do one with the score on a quiz, that's the one we're going to choose, which looks like that. From there, it'll prompt you to select the exact quiz that you're talking about. I went ahead and did the syllabus quiz, and then you'll enter your appropriate criteria. So for this, I did that the student must get a 100 even on the quiz to move forward, but you have a ton of options there. It doesn't have to be as specific as that. And then once you decide all of that information, you just click create and save and close. And now that release condition is attached to that quiz. And basically that means that that student must receive a 100% on the syllabus quiz before they're able to take the next quiz in the course or any other content in the course at all. All right, so some other examples of release conditions that you can use in your course is unlocking week 2 content only after students complete reading week 1 content. So it doesn't actually have to be a submission or a quiz or a task that's completed that is graded, but you can require them to click through all of the module content topics so that they aren't just skipping it altogether. Example 2, you can grant access to an extra credit assignment if a student scores above 80% on a test. So this is a really neat one for those students that are already excelling in your course. You can kind of single out or group those students and provide them with a little bit more incentive to still keep doing better in your course. Example 3 requires students to complete a syllabus quiz before accessing course materials. This is probably the most common one for faculty that are using release conditions. This is one we see the most. And then example 4, hide the final exam until all prior assignments are submitted. So this is a great one if you don't want that student who sees that tests are worth the highest percentage in your course to not submit any other content and only take the midterm and the final. So that's another nice one to make sure that your students are completing coursework along the entire duration of the course and not just those high valued assignments. All right, so here's the combining part, which can take release conditions to a slightly more advanced level, but it's really neat to see what it can do. So I like to call this the and or logic. So the and logic basically just means that students must meet all conditions. So an example of that would be they need to score an 80% on a quiz and submit an assignment before the next module is unlocked. But you do have the option to do the or logic, which is students can meet any condition that you have listed in there. So you could have them complete a quiz or watch a video or do a discussion board or complete a survey so that they can access another item in the course. All right, some best practices for using release conditions. Use them to guide and not block learning. So that's a big one. We don't want the students to feel like they can't learn, but we want them to guide them on the best learning path, is how I like to word it. Keep instructions clear and let students know what they need to do. Test release conditions before the course starts. This is a very important one because you could put less than or equal to instead of just equal to, and it can change your course entirely of what you were trying to mean to do. So there's a lot of little options there under the criteria that you want to make sure you're selecting the right option. So testing that is very important. Use multiple conditions wisely and avoid unnecessary complexity, and monitor student progress and adjust as needed. Some common mistakes to avoid with release conditions is forgetting to inform students about hidden content. So if they log into your course for the first time and it's an empty shell or there's only the syllabus quiz because everything else is hidden until that quiz is completed, they may immediately email you and say there's nothing in this course. So it would probably be wise to set an announcement that you have your course set up that way, just so that from the beginning the students are informed that the content is going to pop up as they progress through the course. Setting conditions that conflict with course pacing, overcomplicating conditions with too many and or rules, and again, not testing release conditions before the course starts. So that is it on the slight introduction to release conditions. Before we move on to the kind of secondary topic of that, does anybody have any questions, any concerns? I'd also love to hear if anyone in here is already using release conditions, and if so, how do you like to use them in your course?
This is Sheena. I'm using them in my online classes. I have practice quizzes set up, and it's basically a syllabus quiz. And they have to complete that to make sure that they have Respondus the webcam, all those like initial steps set up. And then once they complete that, then they're able to access the other exams in the course. So I lock them out of their other exams until they take that practice quiz and make sure that they have all those things set up and in place before trying to jump in and take a test.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and that probably prevents a ton of confusion later down the road. So that's a great example
Yeah.
of how to use them. Any other questions, comments? All right, we're going to move over to intelligent agents now. Edgar's going to take this one, but again, go ahead and stop us at any time if you have any questions.
Thanks. So like we said, the next phase of this is the intelligent agents. So same format as the previous section, the what, why, the different types, how we're going to implement them, and examples, followed by best practices, common mistakes, and any questions at the end. So what is the intelligent agent in D2L? So these are automated tools that monitor student activity and send customized emails based on predefined conditions. This helps instructors provide timely feedback and motivate students towards success and automated routine. Sorry. So why would we use the intelligent agents? So like we said, we enhance student engagement. This will automatically reach out to students based on their progress. So if the student is not logging in and not doing assignments, they will get a message to remind them that they're missing things. This helps save time for you as the instructor. Like I said, it's automatic, so you don't have to worry about reminding students to log in or to complete a certain assignment. The other goal is also to improve retention, help students stay on track and not let them fall behind, and also personalized learning. Tailors a message interventions based on the student performance, so you can even customize the messages that the students are getting. So different types of actions for intelligent agents. The most common one is an email. This will send a student of the course, let them know if they are not completing the assignment, not doing, or if they didn't get a certain grade. You can also send notifications. This was important to remind students to submit their assignment or to participate in a discussion. It is also used to trigger release conditions. We can use that to unlock content or assessments when conditions are met. And like I said earlier, we can customize messages, have specific reminders, words of encouragement, or nudge certain students to get motivated. So here is a quick example of how to create an intelligent agent. I will do a walkthrough after this little section, so it's okay if you remember all this. But from the home screen, you'll go to the course tools and then select intelligent agents. We'll create a new agent to start the setup process, and then we will be able to name and enable the agent. Here is where we define the criteria and conditions. See who can see this, what students, which students have access to this. We set the action based on the need and then create the condition itself. You can use replacement strings to customize course content and communications in Brightspace. Replacing the strings automatically incorporates the learner's personalized information, such as their name or user ID. Enables you to develop better relationships with your students and increase engagement.
I am going to paste this link in the chat. This just gives a great overview about replacement strings and examples of them. So I'm going to just paste that really quickly in the chat.
So here's a list of all the replacement strings we can use. Like I said, is in that chat that she posted, or the link, sorry, she posted. So some examples of using intelligent agents. For one scenario, could be used for a student who hasn't submitted an assignment and gets an automatic reminder after the deadline. Another scenario is where a student has viewed all the course material but has not participated in discussions and gets a nudge to be engaged. Scenario 3, a student who scores below a 60 on the quiz receives a personalized encouragement message and other resources for improvement. So we're going to go into a quick little walkthrough on how to create your intelligent agent. One second. Can you see the screen? Perfect. Okay, so this is one of my sandbox demo courses I have. So from here, I'll go to my content. Can I see it? Excuse me, see that set up on my course. And like we said, we go to course tools, scroll down to intelligent agents. We'll create a new agent. We can give it a name. You can put a description if you like. You can also create categories for your intelligent agents to simplify your system. Make sure it's enabled. The next option will be scheduling. How often would you want this to be sent? Usually you can do it daily, weekly, monthly. I prefer weekly. And even here, we can select how often you want it to run, once a week, once every 2 weeks. Same thing, so we'll do one every week. Select the day you like it to be sent out to run the program in the background, the schedule time, the start date. Once we have that selected, we go to criteria. We will go to all users visible in the class list, so all students can have access to this. And here we can do as basic as login activity. So if they haven't even logged into D2L, they will get a reminder. Course activity could be specifically to your course if they haven't logged into that. Or we could create a customized one, which is what we're going to do here. Condition type, we're going to select the type we want to do. So for this one, we said it was a student who did not submit an assignment. So there was a no submission to folder. We go to conditions. Here, sorry, the folder. Under my course right now, I only have one assignment, so that's the assignment pops up. So you'd have more options in your course. We select the assignment that needs to be submitted. And you'll see here, has not submitted the folder, revises poorly written email. That's the name of the assignment. And then we'll go to actions. And here we have two options on the repetition. We can select to take action only the first time that the criteria was satisfied or every time. So if you want to only get it one time, you select the first one. And if it continues on the second one, it will set it repeatedly. We will send it as an email. And here's where we can use the strings to, excuse me, sorry, here it is, initiating user. You can copy that one, and that way they will get that personalized to the student, create a subject, and then the message you want to put in there. You can upload files. Like I said, this is for a missing assignment, but say a student's failing the quiz and you want to add more resources, you can add that here. And then we will save and close. Oh, sorry, I didn't put a subject in mine. And I will show you the next time this television will run. And then the students will get the reminder if they didn't complete the assignment by then. Key reminders make sure that, obviously your schedule and your due dates kind of match up with the intelligent agents dates to make sure it's consistent. But that's how to create an intelligent agent. Anybody have any questions on that part? Yes, they should copy over when you copy the course over. Just as always, you have to change the dates, but yes, they will copy over.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the assignment due dates are updated because it's gonna run this based on that due date. So if a student didn't submit that with the due date that's on the assignment, that's how it's gonna know to send this message. So as long as your due dates are accurate, yeah, it should copy over every time. No, you won't see it in the sent folder of your Outlook because it's going to be coming from not your com email, but your like the courses email, the com dot brightspace one. So you won't see it in the sent folder of your Outlook. But you will be able to see, like once it's run, you'll be able to see the history here in this agent list.
So it'll tell you who got it, who didn't get it on that list.
Yeah.
I have no students in mind, so.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that?
I'm gonna pop back over to the presentation here. We just have a couple more slides here.
Okay, it's following up back with best practices with these intelligent agents. Like we said, set clear triggers, make sure the conditions are directly tied to the student actions or performance. Provide clear instructions, let students know why they might receive alerts. Avoid over automation, ensure your messages feel personal and not robotic. We all know we get those emails we just start ignoring. It's always a good idea to test your agents before launching. Maybe use a test account or other students or professors, and they can see if they got the triggers. Also monitor the agent effectiveness. Check if your agents are helping improve student engagement or retention. Common mistakes to avoid. Overcomplicating conditions. Too many conditions can cause confusion or miss triggers. Not reviewing your triggers. Ensure your conditions are set properly before launching. Ignoring student feedback. Pay attention to how students respond to automated messages. And then leaving agents untended. Monitor the performance of the agents to tweak and optimize them.